So let's look at the typical beginner without any transferable skill. Firstly, they are at the beginning level in terms of acquiring understanding. They're probably disconnected from what is involved and the journey ahead. They have no idea about what, they may not have any idea about what Hung Gar is, what's involved in learning it, how much time they have to put in, and so on. So they're really starting from having no understanding at all. Next is they may have no idea of what's important or how to learn it. They may see people in the class doing things and playing weapons and it all looks very nice, but they have no way of judging of what's important or how to learn what it is that they've just looked at and observed. They may have no skill base and question or capability. So maybe they've not done many other sports. They're not capable of necessarily of doing very much in such a physical endeavour as learning Hung Gar. And they have no concept of what mastery may involve. It's just a word. It's a very mysterious word. So they have no real understanding. You may get many people like this coming into Hung Gar, asking you what it is, what does it all mean, how do I learn it, how long will it take, when can I become a master, all of these types of things. And so there's a journey to go through, and that's what this capability maturity model will step you through. The next example I want to give to you is an older person who perhaps has done some Tai Chi. So someone who plays Tai Chi has some understanding of physical movement, the movement of the body in space and so on. So I would say this person has some transferable skills that the beginner does not have. And if we begin to look at those, firstly, they may have no understanding of what Hung Gar is. They may have played Tai Chi, but not really understand what Hung Gar is about and how you go about learning it. And so they don't know what's important in Hung Gar, just like the beginner, and what it requires to learn it. However, because of they've done some other type of activity such as Tai Chi, they may have an understanding of what it means to master learning. So how the mastery of learning is achieved. They've obviously learned something, a physical sport. So they will have some understanding of how they did that and perhaps how they may apply that to learning Hung Gar. And similarly, while they may not have mastered things along the way, they will have an initial awareness of the enormous task in front of them to get to mastery. So this is what I mean by someone who can come into the class or wants to begin learning Hung Gar, who actually has transferable skill base. Now next, I'm going to look at someone else who actually comes with quite a lot of skills. And this is a real example I had some years ago here in Hong Kong when I had a professional ballet dancer who was interested in learning Hung Gar. So he was someone who was very skilled in ballet and obviously comes with a whole set of transferable skills. Now, if you think about learning ballet and the discipline and how you must understand your own body and how you must understand training and perseverance and discipline and stretching and exercising and all of these things are all important and all are transferable. So the first thing that I noticed is that this person really understood that both learning and training are key to advancement. It's not just learning, it's not just, okay, I saw you do that movement or you explained that movement to me, so that's it, now I understand it. Not the case. You then need to be doing a lot of your own self-training in order to completely understand that and to achieve a degree of advancement. And as you can appreciate, someone who is a skilled ballet dancer already has that understanding and that capability and level of maturity to be able to do that. In terms of sustaining the knowledge of Hung Gar, again, because Hung Gar was new to this person, they had no idea of what was important or exactly how to learn Hung Gar. So that's understandable for someone who's never done a martial art before. However, if you look at how to acquire a skill and how to develop that skill, then this ballet dancer had a very key awareness of how your skill level increases from the greater effort, a greater determination, and a particularly focused effort on what it is you're doing. So just as in ballet, all of these particular capabilities were required. So this person entered Hung Gar already with that degree of capability as a general quality. And then the last one is mastery of skill. So obviously a professional ballet dancer understands how developing and committing to optimum training is important to build and achieve mastery of that skill. And that requires a strategy of how you do that. And this person came with that strategy. So I just talk about these three types of people to give you an understanding that you're going to get different students, or if you're a student watching this, you are entering Hung Gar with perhaps some sort of transferable skill that you have, and it is going to help you in your journey in developing your capability and maturity levels in Hung Gar. So now I'm going to move on to talking about each of these cells within this diagram. Before I do that, I just want to emphasize that this is a progressive thing, and you don't necessarily progress in a linear fashion. So it's not all about progressing upwards or horizontally to the right. You may progress in very different areas. Sometimes you may go backwards because you haven't done the right amount of training or whatever. And so look at this model as creating your own expertise, how to create your own expertise and how to go forward. And I see this as a stepped process to begin and develop your capability and maturity in Hung Gar or perhaps in any other sport, in a planned and rational approach. So I'm hoping that when you understand this, it will give you a confident feeling that there is a way through this. It's not all overpowering and difficult. And there are things that you need to get better at in order to progress.